Ask anybody that what is their first financial goal, they will just say that I want to save some money. In fact, we all try to save money just by cutting our coffees, tracking our expenses, or sometimes even feeling guilty after an Amazon order. But we all know that we fail somehow. The real reason is that we do not need to have more discipline these days to save money. We are already disciplined, especially the generation after 1990s. The school system and the atmosphere outside have already made us kind of disciplined than the earlier generations. But my personal point of view is that we need a kind of system that can help us save more money. Because if you observe any well established system, it does not depend on our mood, motivation, or our willpower. It just works silently in the background, and if it is set up properly, can help us save tons of money. And this is where most of the people fail to set up a system for themselves. If you are new to this channel, and obviously you are, my name is Mayur and I talk about money and mindset. We will talk about how we can build a financial system that can help us saving good chunk of money even if we do not want to save. Stay tuned. It is absolutely true that in order to achieve a goal, we should have a willpower. But it does not work every time. Let's be honest, most of us, we make our financial decisions either when we are very angry or feeling sleepy or scrolling through the phone at midnight. And this is where the willpower goes out of the window. Let's say you have a plan to save $500 every month, but when it is time to pay for the rent, grocery, and some limited time offer, well, those are gonna come in the next Black Friday. Our willpower to save that $500 just vanishes away. So rather than fighting our own human nature, we must design a system that can make, not by a choice that we will have to do it every month. If it is just matter of building a system, then let's see what kind of the money system that you need to build. Imagine a well-designed pipeline where your money flows in the most predictable way, and that is also automatically. Once you set up your systems, you do not need to worry about now how much to save every month or how much to invest or which bills to pay, because since it is set up by yourself, it just repeats itself every month. You do not need to manage it anymore now. You just need to observe that whether the system is following the rules that has been set by you or no. It's very simple. The first step in setting up the money system is to split our bank account. Now somebody will ask that what is the problem with the checking account? Well, there are two major problems with this. First, checking account gives you absolutely zero interest rate even if you keep $1 million. Even I was the one who used to keep all of my savings in the checking account, and at the end bank gave me absolutely $0 until I realized. The second problem is that if we keep all of our money in the checking account, our mind thinks that the available balance in the checking account is the spendable balance. And this is very dangerous. So it is better to split our account. The first account, call it as your spending account. This is where you keep all your needs amount that you need for your survival. It includes your rent, grocery, and any bill that you need to pay. The second is for your saving and the investment account. Whether you want to go on a vacation or want to invest for the retirement, put that money in this account. In fact, I use Wealth Simple for this. The Wealth Simple checking account gives me 1.25% interest rate per annum. Getting $0 for keeping money in checking account, it is 1.25 times better. If you want to open this account, the link is in the description box. In fact, if you open the account through my link, you will get $25 to start with, and you can use this money to invest anywhere. The next step I want you to do is to set up an auto transfer. Once you get your salary in your checking account, I want you to transfer that money into these two accounts. First account should be filled with the money you need for your rent, grocery, bills, and for your survival, without which you cannot survive. And whatever you left after this, the money should be transferred to the investment or the saving account. Even if it is a $100, you must move it. Set up an auto transfer for this. This will help you to go with the flow in the system. Because if you leave some money in the checking account, your mind will think that it is for spending and you will start doing it. Now, magic of doing this is that you will add up to the lifestyle based on the amount left in your checking account. And in this case, it is absolutely zero money because you already have transferred the money based on your needs and wants. This is called the rule of paying yourself first. Now, since half of the system is already built, let's try to refine this by putting some microsystems, like no spending on weekdays. Well, this is a very common and the good practice across the North America. We do our grocery shoppings and purchases on Saturdays and Sundays. In fact, we get 5 days to make our mind for the shopping for the upcoming week. We get enough time to do our research and find good deals. Use the rule of 24 hours. Just wait for 24 hours before making any online purchase. Just think that if you really need that product, if you really gonna use that product after 6 months, if you really gonna do, then and then buy it. Otherwise, cancel an unused subscription at every quarter. I know there are many people who would have forgotten their Netflix password because they haven't used it for many times. And this is absolutely unnecessary for them. Just cancel it. This will help you save more than $20 every month. This all looks very negligible, but these small habits will protect your financial budget without feeling restrictive. Now the incoming cash flow to our system is fully set up and very robust if you observe. Let's try to set up the outgoing cash flow. Whether it is your rent, groceries, or any bills that you need to pay, I want you to auto transfer that too. In fact, all of these companies these days, they deduct money from our account on a particular date. That date is absolutely fixed. If you set up an auto transfer for these transactions, you get two benefits. First, you are free of any mental load. You do not need to worry about those payments because that money you already have transferred it in your saving account, and that once you set up the auto transfer, it will get deducted automatically. Secondly, by doing this, you have absolutely zero worry about getting the late payment fee. Just make sure you have some extra amount of buffer in this account because sometimes you never know whether your car broke down or have some emergency medical expense. You can use that amount from this saving account. But the overall purpose of doing this step is to have fewer amount of the manual transactions so that you have fewer amount of the late payment fees. Our system is almost ready now, but let's try to visualize that because the human psychology says that the system works better if you see the progress. And this is where the fundamental of personal finance comes into the picture, and that is tracking of your expenses. There are many applications out there into the market. Even you can use a pen and paper. My personal favorite is the Spendy app that is available on Android as well as iOS devices. In fact, the link in the description box. I have been using that app from more than 5 years, and it is also very simple to use. You just put the expenses, incomes, and this gives you graph at the end of the day. It will also tell you that how much money you spend in your needs and wants and investment if you use hashtags. Now tracking at these steps is totally different than we used to track earlier, and we used to save almost zero money. Now since our system is already whole set up, we can definitely know how much money we saved at the end of the month, how much money we invested, and how much is the possible growth of our money by keeping this money in the investment accounts like RRSP, FHSA and TFSA if you are in Canada. When you visualize this growth through this application, your brain gets a dopamine hit. In fact, my system is almost similar to this. I get paid bi-weekly 2 times a month. As soon as the money hits in my checking account, I move that money immediately to my Wealthsimple checking account where I make 1.25% interest rate on the money that I have moved. This gives me almost more than $15 every month, and this is absolutely free money. I have already set up auto transfer for all my fixed expenses including my rent to the landlord, utility bills, phone bill and the internet. I allocate 50% to my needs. The next 30% of my income goes to the investment. Since I am in Canada, I invest in FHSA, TFSA and RRSP. This helped me reduce my taxable income and gives me more than $15,000 tax refund every year. In fact, I have invested so far more than $1,000 just in 1.5 years by following the systems in a very easiest way. In fact, I have made a detailed video on this and I will put the link in the description. You can click over here and watch the video. The next 10% goes to the charity. This is absolutely non-negotiable for me because I personally believe that doing charity purifies our money. If some bad money has come to our account, doing charity will purify that. This system does not give me any guilt, no manual transfer or no any overthinking. Just following the simple rules and whole system works even when I'm sleeping. Just start small. Even $50 a month matters a lot when you are setting up a system. In this case, habit is more important than the amount you move. Once you set up your whole system, you can redefine all the parameters and system can work better for you. So overall, saving money is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent. And the consistency comes from the system like this that have been set up very robust, not from the willpower. Once you set up the system, your future will thank you. If you found this video helpful and think that I have helped you enhance your financial knowledge by a bit, make sure you hit like and the subscribe button. This will really help our channel grow. And do not forget to comment which one system that you would like to implement in this month. This is Mayur signing off.